dead. Dead is just a word.
On October 17th.
It's the grabber.
She came to me in my dream.
See the movie that audiences are losing sleep over.
What do you think happens when you die in a dream? It's time to find out.
Ethan Hawke.
I'm not afraid of you.
You should be.
Black Phone 2. Only in theaters October 17th. Rated R.
How do you top your love for your cat? With a cascade of decadent savory gravy over a mouth-watering mousse pâté. Fancy Feast Gems. 2 gourmet pâtés in one convenient pack. Simply peel and plate to reveal a pyramid shape that makes eating delightful and pamper her with an experience as extraordinary as she is. Turn the everyday into the extraordinary with Fancy Feast Gems.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
I thought I saw something.
I lose you guys again. What?
Someone.
What's going on? What are you guys looking at? Abaddon eyes. That's what we call it. Everybody feels like they saw something out of the corner of our eyes or just felt like they were being watched. Happens to all of us. Just our imagination's messing with us.
Abaddon eyes.
You coming?
Well, hello. I am Mike. That is Casey. And we are here with Bridget Rose Perrotta. Did I say it correctly?
Nailed it.
Okay. All right. That's one for me. Okay. So we saw the new movie. And I'm going to tell you, just like we told everybody else that we've talked to so far, when the title card comes up at the end, and we just looked at each other and said, we just were so pissed off at the end of it. But we've had time to reflect and we've talked to other people about it. Mm-hmm. So we drove an hour to see this thing, by the way, too, right? And so we're sitting in the theater with several other fans and people with Hell House merch and stuff on, which I didn't even know they made. The movie is exceptionally made. And by the way, you're fantastic in it. You did a great job. You are the same character and, you're having a tough time. That's all I'm saying. A
little rough for Margot.
So Bridget, if you could tell us what your take on the newest, installment of Hell House is, and why you think it is the way that your take takes you. It's terrible grammar and words are hard, but just what is your take on it, and what do you think we should be looking for or thinking about this new movie?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think
good, because it took me way too long to get it out.
No, you're good. I think it's exactly what Steven has been saying about it himself. I actually firmly believe his intention, because again, writer director for all of the Hell House films, I think that he wanted to make something that was very driven by the lore of the franchise. Mm-hmm. And I think that he wanted to make something for the fans that they would visually really like. I think it was bold to go from found footage to a more narrative approach. Yeah. But I completely agree with what he said about, as the director and the creator of this beautiful lore-filled world, he wanted to continue to progress it and take it to another place that he not necessarily could have done with the found footage. So I think that I really respect that as a film creator myself. Like, it was a huge risk, and I think that without that type of risk, you can't really progress something forward. So I think he really made it with fans, and probably to just try something as a creator and see if that excited him. And I think he's very excited by what he made.
So did you watch it in a theater?
Yeah.
Yeah. How was that experience for you?
It was really awesome. I got to see it. Absolutely. Like, not only just seeing it with a lot of the cast and crew.
Yeah.
I got to see it. I'm based in New York, so I got to see it at the Times Square AMC theater.
Oh,
And just
wow.
as an actor, like having that feeling of, wow, I'm with some of my closest friends getting to celebrate such an awesome. I don't know. It was just a really special experience.
Yeah, I would imagine. It probably felt like kind of a culmination of a lot of things, I would think.
Yeah.
And I don't want to speak for Casey necessarily because he's good at that, but
Yeah.
I think the take that we have for the movie now is that since Steven has talked about, somebody else picking up the mantle on this thing,
Mhm.
that I think he took his universe and just spiderwebbed it, out there so that people could pick up this part, that part, whatever. And whoever goes forward with this thing, which somebody will, um, I think they have a lot to choose from all of a sudden.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
would, yeah.
I think the only thing I wish is that before we went to see it, we knew that good luck getting all your questions answered, buddy. That kind of thing. So, and I'm not mad about it because it was a wonderful piece of filmmaking. And now that we've heard some of the stuff later, I completely understand where he's coming from. And
Yeah.
so it was a fun watch. It was a fun watch.
I agree with what you're saying. I think when I first read it,
Yeah.
I and some other podcasts have been asking me, even before they saw the movie, they're like, is this it? Is this the last one? And I was very candid of, as far as I know, this is the last one.
Right.
But what do I think and hope?
Yeah.
I hope there's going to be another one. And I kept kind of joking about it. And it sounds like Steven I know which interview you're talking about, where he, I think, implied or said that he'd be open for someone else to take it.
Yeah.
That was very exciting to hear, because it means that there could be a continuation of the world.
Let's say there is a continuation of this world, is that something you would want to be involved with?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
I think there's a lot more there for a lot of the characters, but I
Yeah.
think that again, from that actor perspective, what a gift it is. I think about this a lot with TV actors that get to kind of play out a character's journey season after season.
Mhm.
How often do you get to jump back into the shoes and then further progress a character? I think it's really cool.
We talked to Sierra the other day about her character and going in with the priest and things like that, and how we never saw her die on screen. So, I mean, there's always a chance for everyone, Maybe not the priest. I mean, he's missing a
He
throat.
did. He had his
But
throat ripped
yeah,
out. Yeah,
but other than that, he was fine,
Guys, it's
yeah.
all
She was very adamant that you did not see her die, so
That's right.
she truly believes she's alive. I said, okay.
all I'll say is this.
So let's say
You don't see Margot die on camera either.
that's true.
That's true.
Exactly right. So let's say this thing goes forward. All right.
Yeah.
This is more about predicting the future or wishing, let's make a virtual wish board here for the Hell House franchise, right?
Yeah.
So what would be next for you? What do you think would be next? Or what do you wish would be next? Do you want to turn into a bad guy? Do you want to go on a killing spree?
I'm so glad you said that. I think that one of the
I've been
things
thinking about it anyway, so sure.
I love it. I love it because I think that there is, you know, specifically with Margot,
Yeah.
if you look at a lot of the way she treats and handles the situations in Origins and the way she kind of becomes this very unlikable person is how I'd put it, and like kind of puts her loved ones in very uncomfortable situations, and it seems as though she isn't typically like that. She can be like very like annoying the way she
Sure.
is, but I don't think they've ever seen her like that. So it leads me to believe as an actor what I know, she has her traumatic past tied with the clown and why she wants to do it, but was there something else going on, something darker that almost possessed her choices of leading to maybe she was in on it. Maybe
Right.
she is not, maybe she is not exactly who she claims to be. And I think there's a lot that could be there. Um, as well as if you want to take it outside of the Hell House lore, I think that Rebecca and Margot are really interesting characters, and they dive into their on-site locations for each
Hmm.
horror element. I think there's a whole world to be built there with a lot of scares, but not necessarily tied to the Abaddon.
Are you saying that you would like your own ghost hunting franchise? Is that what you're saying?
Listen, twist my arm, twist my
Sure.
arm.
Yeah, it's tough stuff, huh? Yeah.
Well, that
Yeah.
when we look at Margot and we talked exactly about that same thing when with you when Origins came out, that you had this band of loved ones that were basically ride or die
Yeah.
with you.
Mhm.
And when we look at this film and what transpires with Michael's Donald character,
Mhm.
and we find out, to me it was very targeted in the fact that as a child you quote unquote escaped, but Hell House never forgets.
Mhm.
And so he very pointedly opened up that house to y'all for 5 days to come in and let that evil clean up its mess. I think that's what I think.
I really like that interpretation. I think you're onto something.
Yeah. Well, and from the Margot character, there's an entire story arc there when people talk about give me more of the cult, give me more Tully, give me all Margot from that point in her life when she avoided that, I think it really just shaped her entire character. I'm going to get into the paranormal. I'm going to try to find out what this was.
Mhm.
And because they made a very big point of when it happened as a child, you never said anything to help anybody.
Mhm.
And now I think you were carrying that and you were trying to figure it out. And it just, to me, this very interesting character.
I completely agree, and it's funny you bring that up because I actually took a peek at the original character description of Margot the other day. Um and the words that really stood out to me, and I think it was the backstory of the guilt that she felt for not being able to solve it, why she started getting into investigations and cold cases, and she
Right.
always takes it a step further. It said, like, unlike other sleuthers, she goes on site. She's pushing the boundaries, doesn't know when to stop, kind of thing, and tying that with the obsession, I think it got really out of hand.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think when with Lineage, that Donald character being kind of exposed to actually knowing about that cult and being a part of it, that made it drove it home for me that you were invited there for a specific reason. And then on top of it, I told Mike when he's walking out or in Origins, when he's walking out the door and he says, oh, by the way, are you interested in the Abaddon Hotel? There's all these artifacts they found. And again, you don't know it at the time that he's definitely pointing you towards a bad ending. But when you see that next movie, you know he was totally up to no good the whole time.
100%.
You know.
We did not expect that from the very nice little caretaker who was in it for like 5 minutes. We didn't expect that to happen
Yeah.
at the end. And so in talking to him, he was very excited that he got to kind of make that turn, and become a villain or a heel or whatever. Have you played villains before?
I've never played an outright intentional villain like that.
Okay.
I would say I kind of make the joke that Margot had villainous moments.
Yeah.
I think they're all unintentional for the most
Right.
part. But yeah, I've never played the outright,
Yeah.
like, bad guy.
What if she knew about it going in? You
I
see what I'm
think
saying? Like,
I
yeah,
completely agree. I think there's a world where she did.
maybe
I
it's a
think
sacrifice of some sort, that sort of thing. Huh.
like she could have been, like, to tie Casey's idea kind of into it as well, of she escaped the
Hmm.
clown as a kid, but who's
Yeah.
to say she wasn't marked just like the other people were that survived?
Well, it's like anything else, right? It's a Munchausen by proxy or whatever you want to call it, that your captor, and it's not the right one, but captor becomes the thing that you think about the most, becomes what you ultimately become yourself,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
Uh
especially if you dwell on it for that many years.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Agreed.
Huh. So what was shooting like? We heard it was about a 16-day schedule.
Yeah, it was. I always say it was who gets to do like a magical once in a lifetime experience twice
Sure.
and go back to the Carmichael especially.
Yeah.
So I wasn't there for that long. Because I had a couple scenes here and there. I think it was a 2 to 3 day shoot.
Right.
But it just felt like summer camp again of wow, well, I was a little bit grateful because a lot less stress this time
Sure.
around. East Margot, I was like,
Right.
okay,
Right.
I'm doing 2 scenes that I've already done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that opened a whole new drawer of interesting questions of, I was like talking to Destiny, who played Rebecca, and I was like, you realize that I think we have to verbatim say and act and move as we did in the first film because it's just going to be the same thing in a different perspective. So a lot of our approach with this movie, especially with the staircase scene and the outside scene, was listening to the way that we spoke.
Yeah.
Get down to a science. Like I can say it right now that like we're not leaving without my brother. What? Like that exact like pitch tone, how fast Margot moves with the camera. It was a whole other beast that I'm like, wow, I've never got like what an interesting acting exercise in a way.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So yeah, it was the same magic, but with a whole new set of like interesting things to think about.
There were 3 things in the well, not 3. I'm going to put them in 2 categories. There were 2 different things that happened in the movie that I was very impressed with. First was the laptop interview where she talks about she's about to be killed in the house too, and it's so fun. And then the second part was where you reenacted those scenes. I thought it was really cool to be able to see them from a different angle and see that maybe we didn't get to see everything the first time. And so I thought that was a really good way to pull the last movie into this one.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. I almost wish there was more of like, because I think about again, so much from Margot's perspective.
Sure.
So much of Origins was either Margot holding the camera or being like very theatrical for her audience. Because like so much, she's like, oh, hey, sleuthers, like it's a show at the end of the day. So much of it was theatrical. I'm like, I wonder how different it would be to see like more of the scenes maybe once the camera shut off and you see what happened after that moment and like how they all spoke to each other and how different it was. I think there's so much more there.
Well, you almost want to make a found footage movie without the found footage. You want all the times in between.
Yeah.
Especially if you're just dealing with Margot and her story.
I think, I don't know. I think there's a cool duo-ship to it of seeing like even Hell House 1, just seeing the found footage version and then like everything you missed. I think there's a cool, I don't know how Godspeed writes it, but
I still don't know what the numbers mean. The
numbers.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about it. Like if you took a found footage film and you were able to stop it at any point and then rotate it in 3D. And that's what he did with those scenes. He showed you this idea that there are timelines running concurrent within this world that you saw in Origin, that now you're seeing the other side of it in Lineage. And yeah, you could stop it, say at Hell House, and spin it around and look on that staircase wall going down and look at all those numbers like Mike talked about. That would be, you could do it, but it was, I mean, it's not there yet as far as the technology, but that would be.
Absolutely.
So we've established that you want to be a part of whatever Hell House does. We've established that you want your own film franchise, which I'm assuming is 3 movies.
4. Go for 4.
Sure. Okay, 4. We'll split that last one in half like Harry Potter, right?
There we go.
So what else do you want to do as an actor? What are you shooting for? What do you have on the horizon? And what would be your biggest get? I know there's a lot of questions, but
all great questions though. I would say I really am digging the horror realm.
Okay.
I think that as an actor, you get to show a lot of range emotionally. Like it kind of lets you go where it needs to go, which is a drama, which can be a comedy, which can then turn into fear. And it's such a cool thing to experience and kind of fine tune. So I think horror is something I really have my eye on right now.
Yeah.
Uh, and I've been really enjoying getting to see more horror films these days of
Sure.
like now I have an awareness of what it's like behind the scenes on a really cool indie franchise project. It's now watching more of the studio projects like Nosferatu, for
Right.
example. That one really
Right.
stood out to me. And the period horror of it was very
Mhm.
interesting. And
Mhm.
so I think as an actor, I'm really starting to kind of figure out what genres I like. And I think comedy will always be near and dear to my heart.
Sure.
So horror comedy, like let's just go for it.
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, just kind of, seeing where it takes me. And I also really like mockumentary style, which
Mm.
is very similar to found footage in a way.
Yeah.
Um, a kind of mockumentary, The Office style comedy.
Yeah.
You just can't tell if the person is serious or kidding. And it's
Mhm.
just so like cringy.
Just the dryness and the cringe of
Mhm.
it. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that kind of style, all of that, if there's a world where that can exist all together, let's make that happen.
Yeah.
Um, and what was one of your other questions? My good.
What would be your big get? I mean, dream with me, figure out
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
that big one?
Well, I always say my goal and why I do this
Hmm.
and like what the dream world would be is being able to do this truly for a living
Yeah.
and provide for myself, maybe a family one day financially,
Right.
and just continue to create and get
Right.
it to a place where it's a little more stable, which of course it's 1%.
Sure.
But
Sure.
you got to be crazy enough to dream it,
Yeah.
to do it. Um, so I think that's the ultimate goal. And I love exploring and I love so the big get would be maybe that role that provides a stability.
Yeah.
I don't know what that role looks like, but one that like launches a stability to this career.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where
Yeah. I
does
think I think you said the big get from the get go, which was you just want to do it for a living.
Mhm.
And that's I think that's a lot of people's dreams. And it's funny because Michael also mentioned the 1%, that make it. And it's it's a great dream. And I I really hope you make it and are able to do that because so few I guess what I'm getting at is, you mentioned the horror world and how nice everyone has been to us as far as coming on and doing these dumb little interviews, and um, we can't tell you how much we appreciate that. And so it makes me think like these are different people. These are not people who have gotten to a point where they just can't be bothered to talk to normal folks, and they want us to take in their work and enjoy it for what it is, and then debate it back and forth and talk to them about it. I it's made me kind of reevaluate what it is we do, in that I would love to talk to more indie filmmakers, especially in the horror realm, because gosh, does it seem to be, and I don't know, maybe it's a gallows humor kind of thing, right? Where you're dealing with such awful subjects that everybody just has to be happy the rest of the time or
Yeah.
something. But everybody has been so great, and you've been so gracious to come on twice, and I mean it's just fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, I second that. I think from the fans to the Stephen Cognetti, the creator himself, like everyone is just so kind. And I keep saying it
Yeah.
feels like summer camp. Like even right now, this is like a continuation of summer camp for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I really appreciate you guys having me on again.
Oh, please. The honors are all ours. Do you all stay in Carmichael whenever you're making the movie?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Does it get creepy in there?
You know where they put me for
Huh.
Lineage?
Yeah.
In Patrick Carmichael's room.
Oh, very nice. Yeah. Clowns and all?
Just standing right there next to her all night. Yeah, just looking.
Literally just under my covers the entire time.
Sure. Sure.
Oh.
Yeah. Did anybody freak out?
I think I was more scared, believe it or not, for Origins, and I stayed in the little side house with
Yeah.
Destiny.
Oh, okay.
So there was like a little bit of separation, but somehow it made it creepier.
Yeah.
It was like walking like right to like the Carmichael neighbor house, and I was
Well,
like,
the funny thing is the Carmichael is it's not out there by itself, right?
Mm-mm.
It's in kind of a neighborhood, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There would be
Yeah,
cars driving by all the time during the shoot. We'd have
yeah.
to sound.
That's what Sierra was saying, that they would have to
Yeah.
re-record the line. But I wonder what neighbors and things like that thought about everything going on there, especially now for two movies, you know?
I'm so curious. Yeah, I wonder if they knew of at least the Hell House franchise after Origins, because maybe they weren't aware then. And
Right.
then all the time it came back for Lineage, I if I was that neighbor, I'd be like, that's so cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
Well, Casey, what questions you have about the character and this final not final movie?
Well, I think in like we've talked about, in really following up with everything Steven said, and just to me, finding, you think about it, and Mike and I always say, some movies are going to get a lot of guff, and we've been with friends who have said, oh, this, and not talking about this franchise, but saying, this movie was blah blah blah. And Mike can always say, we're sitting here watching something somebody produced.
Yeah,
It was created.
yeah,
They've taken the step to do so much more than we have in the filmmaking industry, and to understand that when you look at it and you say, oh, maybe some of the Hell Houses were 9 days, some of the Hell Houses were 14 days. And then you go on IMDb and they say estimated budget for Lineage was $175,000. You're
yeah,
like, I'm still just blown away by the fact that these are being made.
yeah.
And it's got to be, a labor of love for y'all to get it done.
100%. I think you nailed it, especially with just the indie world itself. I
Right.
think there's so much heart and so much gratitude that's involved with every single person involved.
Yeah,
And lucky for us, sometimes I've heard some bad stories about indie sets because,
sure.
it can be a little less regulated, a little less yada, yada, yada.
Hmm.
But I can safely speak for the Hell House set and say that it was safe, it was fun, it was
Yeah.
inclusive, it was just a really great. I feel spoiled for that being my first feature
Sure.
film set. I'm like,
Sure.
are you kidding me? We're starting off with such a bang.
Were you able to see any of the practical effects in real time? The reason I
She
ask that
had she
is,
had she had a practical effect applied to her.
well, that's true. But what I'm saying is, were you able to see any of the stuff actually happen? Because we in talking to a couple of folks, they had mentioned how there were no reshoots of that stuff or anything like that. We just did it once, and that's the way it turned out.
Yeah, I think I was a lot more around when we were doing the Origins
Right.
set stuff because, it was kind of an in-between moment.
Yeah.
Whereas I think I just shot maybe only in the nighttime for Lineage or only in the morning. And so part of me,
Right.
like that professional side of you wants to like not get in anyone's way and kind of like
Yeah.
as much as I want to watch everything, I
Right.
think I steered clear a little bit more because it was a little bit of a bigger set too for Lineage. But yeah, I think some of the moments I would watch Victoria's moments every now and then. She was Margaret Carmichael. I remember distinctly on Origins, like watching the whole hand sequence when Chase was walking down, like when he was by himself and Margot and Rebecca were at the antique store. I remember that watching that one being like, wow, that's really cool. So yeah, didn't get to see as much,
Sure.
but what I saw was awesome.
Let's talk about the one you participated in.
That was so scary. That was so scary. I didn't know what to anticipate.
Yeah.
I knew it would be gross. And I knew that I would have to like go for it.
Sure.
So yeah, I remember took like I'm gonna say 2 to 3 hours to get the makeup on. Shout out to Beatrice. It was so gross. I remember looking in I didn't want to look in the mirror until it was done.
Yeah.
And then when it finished, I was like, oh my, let's do
Yeah.
it. And I will never forget going back to my my favorite hallway where it all ended, sitting up and kind of talking to Steven, getting ready for the take. And, he wanted it to be quiet and like subtle. And I went for it. And then I will never forget kind of at the end of the first take, the camera starts panning back and they start exiting the hallway. And I'll never forget, I started so much of this you have to follow your gut and follow your heart. And Steven's such an open director that he'll be like, hey, like pull that back, or hey, do that more. So you feel really comfortable to try things. And I'll never forget the camera started panning back and I started like this kind of sinister laugh. And then as the camera was pulling back, I like felt it like growing and growing and like, oh, and like it kind of felt in the moment. I wasn't expecting it perhaps, but it felt very Joker-esque. And I was like, lean into it, go, big. And I'll never forget Steven like came up after. He's like, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, great, let's do it again.
Well, I bet it was cheap therapy, you know, just get all that out. Right?
That's what acting is. Acting is just therapy in real time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and Mike and I have never talked about this, but when you look at when we finally see you, that reveal, to me, and I don't know why I don't know what it is with Patrick's character, the clown, but his whole thing is going, and even with Tully in the Lake of Fire, they always go after the face.
Yeah.
And go after the eyes, and there's something there. And I heard somebody say, or maybe we were talking about with somebody else, this idea of hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil.
Yeah,
and for everyone, they take part, they do something like that. It was just interesting to me because when you look at one of the daughters on the bed, her face is horribly disfigured. That was just an interesting idea to me of why Patrick does that.
I'd say I haven't even thought about that. Yeah. And even just in a lot of the origin scenes of like, I think it was the Vanessa kind of dream sequence in her room, like going for the head, the face.
Yeah. Well, I can say that the last time, and Mike and I joked about this, we asked you if you would come back, would you? And you said, I will come back even if I'm a dead body. And you got a little bit more than a dead body. So I felt pretty good about that.
That's right.
Guys, the franchise is coming. The fourth is coming. I feel it. Let's do it.
Now, if you come back, what would you like to be? I would think zombie, right? Or some sort of body that's been reanimated somehow by evil.
Yes, I think now that I'm a little spoiled now because I've had the like human and
you've been dead once. I mean, you know,
and I've been dead. I think I would love the transformation. Like I would love to see it. I would love to go from like zombie to human or human to zombie in real time. I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got to just change once a year. We just got to some type of transformation.
Well, yeah, and he even explored that. He even explored that between 1 and 2, when Sarah Hobble came back as herself. Unaffected, and lured more people back. I mean, there's you could be back tomorrow doing something in Hell House probably.
The nice thing about the Hell House franchise is there are no hard and fast rules. So there's no zombie rules, there's no Frankenstein rules, werewolf rules, you know what I'm saying? Like you're not shooting these things with silver bullets, that kind of thing. So I think you could do just about damn near anything, and I would love to see something that did delve deeper into what happened, what brought you there to begin with, just your original ghost hunts and things like that. I think that'd be really cool, honestly.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I'm glad you brought up Sarah, Ryan's character, because I think that's the other thing. I wish, more so selfishly as an actor, like I just am a huge fan of the original Hell House, and I really want to work with a lot of those actors. I think they're phenomenal and they're such wonderful people. So part of me wants like, the final, like the Marvel style final movie where we're all like in it together.
Yeah.
I want some more like OG Hell Housers in the mix. I think that would be really cool.
That would be. Yeah, just get you all in the basement and just set fire to it or something. Just take care of it once and for all.
Literally, I see like Alex and Margot, like they'd be besties. They'd be like, they're strength. Let's do this, guys. And I was like, oh no.
I just want to see a clown light the match and boom, there you go. We're done. Okay, well, Ms. Perrotta, thank you again for being here. We cannot thank you enough. This is twice now that you've spent time with these old men, and we love your performances, and we love the fact that you're part of the Hell House family. And but you as an actor, tell us what you're working on and maybe what you got coming up.
Absolutely. I wish I could talk more about kind of the audition and callback stuff, but some cool things that hopefully
Yeah.
happen. And I'd say the biggest thing I want to talk about actually has to do with Destiny and Victoria from the Hell
Okay.
House universe. We got together and we produced a film, a short film called Sometimes Candles Burn. And
Okay.
us three, we produced it and we're also starring in it. It's about
Okay.
probably 15 minutes is my guess.
Okay.
We're in the editing process right now. We've got the whole thing filmed. We had an awesome team behind us, and we're hoping for end of this month, maybe middle of October. So it's coming soon. It's a lot of fun. It's funny. It's crazy. It's good. It's a good film, and I'm excited for it.
Any chance we get you back to talk about that one?
Literally, I can even speak for the other two that we would love to
Yeah.
come back.
That
That'd
would
be great.
wonderful. That would be wonderful. Yeah. I'll send you a message and maybe we can work that out.
Perfect. Awesome.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And I'm sorry you're dead or not dead or your face exploded or whatever. You look much better now. So that's I'm assuming you've been taking your antibiotics and things.
Yeah.
But I wish you nothing but luck. And I look forward to the day we get to talk to you again.
You guys are great. Really appreciate it.
Well, thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Have a good afternoon.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye. You can find Abaddon Eyes Exploring the Hell House LLC universe anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com.
I found the gateway, and it's glorious. Play us a song.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.